Hello, my name is Carlos Camacho and the topic of this video is cultural dimensions, communications in high versus low context cultures. The first dimension I'm going to talk about is power distance. Power distance refers to the hierarchy in a workplace or any other social environment. For example, in Ecuador, when your boss is at work, you don't usually treat him so friendly. You have some sort of respect to him. You don't treat him as your peer. On low power distance cultures, they treat each other like if they're just co-workers. There's no such concept of, oh, it's my boss. I should treat him differently or with more respect. At the end of the day, they just treat each other like persons. The next one is individualism and collectivism. This one is self-explanatory. People that are in the individualism society, they tend to just take care of themselves, and their only concerns are their own well-being and their profits. There's more direct conversations with other people, and on collectivism, the persons tend to like just follow along whatever they're told to, even if they might disagree. They're not that open to talk about their things. That's the main difference. They're more often follow the for example, if there's a construction project, most people will learn by their peers just by the practice of being there. In an individualism society, they will have to have more precise instructions and everything told to each other directly with very precise instructions. The next one is uncertainty avoidance. There are societies that don't mind what's coming to their life. They just go around life however way it comes. And these kind of persons, these kind of societies are more open to change. They have less prejudice, and they're more open to change, which is a good thing. In all of these dimensions, I feel like all of the extremes are bad. There should be a middle ground, but in reality, there's always countries that are more bent to one of the extremes. And uncertainty avoidance societies always plan ahead. They're always worried about what they're gonna do with their lives. They're less open to change. They don't adopt technologies that easily. For example, the one that I like the most about this dimension is how easy for people to change jobs. For example, in the United States, they really don't have that worry if they get fired or if they plan on getting another job. Is as easy as changing their clothes. It's not like such a permanent worry. Unlike in Ecuador, for example, where people tend to stay in a single job and position for the rest of their lives until they get their paychecks after being out of the work. The next dimension is long-term orientation versus short-term orientation. This is similar to the previous one. Long-term societies are always planning on what's like the benefit on the long run. On the long-term orientation, people just take care of what the profit is gonna be in the quickest time possible. Like they, for example, businesses report their finances in quarterly terms on the year. On long-term orientations, they care about what the profiting a larger market and on a longer term of time the profits actually become. This one also correlates to all the other dimensions. This is masculinity versus femininity. It's not gender, it's not referring to gender. In masculine societies, the main focus of their lives, even if they're woman or man, it's the house they get, the car they have, the job they have, what they spend their money on, like what investments they got, and what can they do on an average daily, their luxuries. And on feminist societies, they care more about their family, about nature, about more simpler things. Their concern is not to show off, and I think that's a better approach in life. Most societies that are based on masculinity are are always filled with anxiety and worry about showing off to people. The next thing is intercultural competence. This is not part of the dimensions anymore. This is something that should be important for EFL students because their main concern is speaking English and being able to communicate with other people from other cultures. And the main thing that how this can be measured is by how open they are to different things. Um, and like a person that has intercultural competence won't be worried or shocked whenever they see people behave differently or have different types of communicating. There's a lot of miscommunication whenever have you travel to another country or you get to. Most of the examples are business related, like let's say in Japan, they're very it's a low communication. They're always avoiding direct conversations. They try to say everything between words, between lines, and that's how their culture is, like very respectful. They bow for everything, and that's the main concern whenever they're, for example, a Western country making business with English people that are too direct with their way of doing things. For people that this might be like, oh, this is not a problem for me because I won't be doing any businesses with other countries. Even in less important stuff like day-to-day life, there can be miscommunication. For example, the other day I had a coworker and I had a glass of water and I spilled it near him. My first reaction was to ask him, "Did I get you wet?" And he got shocked and he was like, uh, he thought it was like with a sexual connotation. We made a joke about it, but at the moment my concern was if he was drenched in water or not, and that's why my question was if he was wet. But that's a miscommunication between cultures because in here in the United States that's more concerned to a sexual connotation. And these are the references. This is it. Thank you so much for watching.